Hi, I'm Frederick Jacobs, founder and CEO of Secury360, and today I will explain you the partner portal. So we have a box on location or Edge AI running. You install on location, you can connect any kind of camera here and connect it to a cloud device. We have a web browser of the box as well, but the only thing that you do there is setting these IP addresses if needed, if you're behind a firewall or something. All the rest is done in our remote cloud portal. I will show it to you now. So it starts with an overview. So when you log into the system, you can see your active clients, you can see your boxes, you can see the ARM boxes at this moment. At night, it should be 100%, for example. And you can see all the cameras that you're connected. There, below, you can see the device state. So we're doing different health checks on the box. When the box is offline, the camera's offline, things like that. We will monitor it. So we will send the email. We can send it to our control room. But we also update the device state overview in the portal. So we see that red 6 boxes are disconnected. It's a demo account, so it's quite normal, I think. Normally it should be green and then everything is clear. If you click on them, you will see the boxes that are offline at this moment, like this. If you go to dashboards again, you will see the dashboards at that moment. So if we scroll down, we will see all the detections that the cameras have made, or our AI. So in green, the person detections, in black, the no person detections. So if you're using the camera AI as the first detections, and you will use our cloud to filter out, we will also show you the false detections. If you're using fully our AI on our box, 99% of the new installations are like that, we will not show you the false detections that our box has made, so we only show you the human detections here. You can see them day by day, like this, and you scroll down, you can also hover on them, and you will see last week, for example, all detections, all person detections, grouped by client. You can hover on them, and you will see that Visiotech, the demo van, has a lot of human detections. It's a demonstration. But if we say false detections, for example, we'll also show you the false detection, and we will see what the cameras are doing at the location of the customer if you're using the Edge AI of the camera. So when you go to a customer, it starts with a project offering. And for a project offering, you need to know how many cameras that you need at the location. So we made this calculator right top. If you click on it, it's also available when you have your sales account, sales login. If we add a project here, we can give it a name, test web, for example, give this a name. You can optional have an address and a reference here, and you can save it later. You can put in the address, but when you're on location, for example, you can also click on this, and it will take the address of your location at that moment. So this project, so we will need to secure this project, for example. We can just click on it, and we will see a camera. So the orange area, we will promise that we will not miss any detections of humans and vehicles. The megapixel of the cameras is not relevant. What is relevant is the angle of the lens. So depending, the wider you will see, less far you will see, the more arrow the lens is, the farther the detection will be. So you can't make a mistake. So if we set it on, for example, 90 degrees or 100 degrees, you will see that this is the detection area. If you set it at 90 degrees, for example, you will see that it will detect till 40 meters. If we set it on 20 degrees, we will detect up to 180 meters. If we set it on 180 degrees, we will detect up to 20 meters. So the first thing you need to do is set up your different cameras and different angles, like this, for example. Maybe place a camera like this and get this on the area here. Narrow the lens. Of course, you need to order cameras that will support this, and we will have a camera here. We could place an extra camera here, for example, and we can just set up different locations. Let's say this is 90 degrees needed. You can just put it like this. So this way you can just calculate how many cameras you would need on that area. If we save this, we can also use this project to connect to your customer later on. So at this moment, it's just an offering phase, but if you sell the project, you can make a client and we'll add this project there. Then on the client side, so you have an overview of all your clients at this moment. So you can see the name, the company name, and the location. and if they accept the terms and conditions. So in the mobile app, you can accept the terms and conditions. You can overview which one are accepted and which one not. You get an overview of the AI that you're using, the box AI or the camera AI, and you can do some actions. When I click on this icon, you can also see, we'll go back to the client because we have an extra option here. So when I click on the camera on the project here, we will have some information. So here you put in the end user information. This email address, the customer will get an email to activate and install the mobile app and accept the terms and conditions and use the mobile app to activate, deactivate, and see all the detections and the live images. Then you get the calculation here. So if you click on it, we can add this calculation that we just made, test web, to this project. If we save it, then after a year or 2 years, when you go back on the installation, you still see the calculation that was made in the beginning. Then the boxes. So every box has a serial number. So to put in the serial number, you can just add a box, click on the S, and you will see all the serial numbers that are in reservation of you as a customer. You can just put it in here. Then you got your, you can change the number. So standard is serial number, but you can change it to a name of the customer, for example. You can see that the 2 cameras are active, and this is a turn on config mode. If we click on this, we will make like a VPN tunnel between my laptop and the camera direct, so I can do also some settings in the camera without having a VMS on site, for example, or an NVR. Here you get some actions. So it starts with, you can copy cameras, for example, but it starts with making partitions. So like with an alarm panel, you can make different partitions and different zones. So you can make partitions on camera, but you can also make partitions on zones. So you have one camera view and you can have different activation zones like you want. So I will put it on zones for now. And I will activate partition 2, for example, and I say, okay, there's a delay of 30 seconds. So you can walk around for 30 seconds to your alarm panel, for example, before the alarm is triggered. We can also use other outputs. So every partition can select another output. So if I say output 2, for example, you can just select it here. When I go to next, we can also make the configuration of the IOs. So you know that the box has different in and outputs. The inputs is for the activation, connected to your access control alarm panel, and the outputs are to trigger a siren on location, a lightning, something like a gate, what you prefer to connect to the IOs as well. You can just select them here. Select them, use this as an error output, for example. You can use this as an output 1. And you can also select if you need a toggle or a pulse on location. Depending on your alarm panel to run the siren, you can just select it like this. If you go to next, we will push this configuration to the box on location. When we again go to the settings, we have the scheduling mode. So in the mobile app, you make a scheduling mode. So you can make schedules on all the partitions, or you can make a schedule on different partitions as well. So activation partitions, different zones, you can make a different calculation or scheduling mode. The scheduling mode is for the activation and deactivation part. So maybe to explain again, we have different functions to activate and deactivate. So you can do it with an input, activate, deactivate. We have the scheduling mode in the partner portal, but also in the mobile app. You can do it manually in the mobile app. You can use geofencing, walk around in the area and activate and deactivate, or you can use the API integration. We will see that later. So scheduling mode, we have then the settings part. So if we go to settings, we can have the Edge AI or the camera AI. You can choose it here if you want to use the camera AI. We have broadband or 4G connection. If you click on this, we will use less bandwidth because we know that there's a 4G connection on site. If we enable network optics, we will push network optics from our cloud to the box, and you can also format the hard drive here. And you get a VMS running on site. So in the box on the bottom, you can integrate a hard drive. The hard drive is purely for the recordings of the VMS. All the detections that we make, so the 10-second video clip in bounding boxes, we will set to our cloud and we will store it for 30 days in our cloud. So you don't need to, the hard drive is purely for the motion detection of the VMS. Then trigger output 1, we can test things, restart the module, deploy latest module, or delete the box can be done here. If you have activated the box, you can also add different cameras. So you have a name, put in the brand, the stream that you're using. We always say to use a substream or sub2 stream. And you can enter the IP address, port number, and user and password. And the stream will come into the box. If the stream comes in, you can draw your different zones. So different zones, the areas where it needs to be detected. I will remove this one for the demonstration. So you can just click on the screen here. And you can just say, okay, this is a zone. We will do person and vehicle detections or only vehicle detection. You can just use it like this. We will do person and vehicle here, for example, and we will add another group. It's limited that you can add zones. And this is partition 1. If we right click on it, we have partition 2. So before we configured that it need to be 30 seconds before the alarm is triggered. So this area will have 30 seconds before the alarm is triggered. You can also set different privacy masks. So the black area, do not film the neighbors, for example. You can just select it like this. Then we have a checklist. The checklist is purely internal so that the technicians don't forget anything. So a UPS, internet backup, walk-in tests, so different things. Enough night vision, of course, because if you don't have enough lightning from normal or infrared lightning, then it will not be detected, of course. And you have your initial snapshot. So if you click on this, we make an initial snapshot of the installation and the camera view. So if you go back within a year or 2 years, you can still see the initial installation and the initial views that we created compared to the views at that moment, for example. Pictures. So the pictures will be shown here, and you can also upload a ground plan if you want. So if you don't use a calculator, but you will still want to use a third-party tool, you can also integrate it here. The logs of the system, so the logins, the activation things, and things like that, but also the detection. So if I go here, for example, the person detection, if I hover on them, we already see some snapshots. And this is a nice example, I think, of the sensitivity of our cloud AI, of our edge AI, sorry. So if you click on this, you can also see the images. And here you can see that a person sitting in the car even is detected quite well, like this, at the edge. So you can watch it back. Integrate an API. So if you want to connect to the control room or to your VMS system, you can just select. We integrate at this moment IMIX, SIA DC09. Most of control rooms are using that. Genetec, Network Optics, DAWA, DSS. And step by step, we are integrating different platforms as well. So if you use SIA DC09, for example, you can put in the credentials that you get from your console room, host, port, and account number. And you can also choose to send a heartbeat every 24 hours or to send an internet error or a box disconnect. So different health checks can also be sent to the control room. You can do a first test that they can see the images there, but the best test is, of course, when you activate the system, arm it, and walk around in all the cameras that the detections are coming very good through in the control rooms. This API integration, so the activation part can be done on different ways, but there is also an API integration. So if you want to allow your control room to activate and deactivate the box on location through their own platform, you can use this API integration as well. And then the last part, it's accounts. So you can make different accounts. So you can make accounts for your own technicians, for your own sales guys, so that they can use a calculator and use the marketing videos, for example. Or you can make an account for your end user, your client. So you can just select it here, select that they will use the mobile app, and you can allow them to manage different locations, like one installation with different locations or one customer with different locations. You can just select them here. And then you have the mobile app permission. So you can give permission to use a scheduling mode or to use a geofencing mode. So you can have a mobile app with the live views and detections, but they can't activate and deactivate the system. And you have your partner portal client permission. So if you get into different locations with their own security management, for example, they can also have some permissions to use the partner portal as well. Normally, the portal is used by the installers and not by the end users, but of course you can give some access. Further, there is an academy here, so you can see different videos, different documentations, frequently asked questions, and also the release notes. So we try to communicate about the release notes. So yeah, let's say once a month we will do an update and we will show you what is different. So for example, last update, we supported Hanwha and Vivatech as a camera. We fixed some different issues, so you can also see what will be updated. If you log into the portal again, and if there is a new version, you need to refresh, and you will also see a link to this new feature list as well. And then the marketing part, so you can also click on marketing, and then you can see different videos, documentations, white papers, logo, so everything that is needed to promote your product to your customers. You can also download it here, or you can also get in contact with us and we can help you with this. So I'm Frederick Jacobs. This was an overview of our partner portal. If you got any other questions, don't hesitate to get in contact with us. Thank you.